Hello everyone. This is James Shore with another test-driven JavaScript video. I'm recording this on November 27th, 2012, picking up right where we left off in the last episode. And what we're working on is test driving the drag and drop mouse behavior for WeWiki Paint. So what we have right now is tested code that confirms that we can draw a line from the corner to where we click the mouse. So what we have to do next is quite a few little things. We need to account that click tracking needs to account for the margin, border, and padding. And we also need to draw line segments and to do drag and drop. And the question I had in my mind at the end of the last episode was, which one of these do we want to do first? The line segments and drag and drop is, or not so much drop, but just drag, is more interesting. But this margin, border, and padding is kind of a fundamental thing. So I think I want to start with margin, border, and padding. So basically the offset technique that we're using to determine where to draw that line, that needs to take into account the margin, border, and padding of our stuff. And I don't even know if it's an issue. So what I'd like to do is go in and manually check it. So let's bring up our home page. Here's our drawing area. And let's just, what do we have for styling on that drawing area? Oh, it's just right here. This home page is all just placeholder code. Yeah, so let's see what happens if we give it a padding of 20, 40, 60, and 80. There we go. Oh yeah. We definitely need to account for that padding. So if we turn this down to 2 pixel border and refresh, yeah. So definitely have an issue there. And what about the margin? Margin is ignored, it looks like, but we're going to want to test that anyway. So, okay. So there we go. That definitely demonstrates the need for doing some testing on the margin, border, and padding. So let's go ahead and do that. And let's write our test. So what we need to do is say it accounts or offsets mouse target or considers border when calculating mouse target. I don't know. There's probably a better name for this function than that, but that will have to do. So what we're going to want to do is we're going to want to create a new drawing area. And for this, we'll put in a border of, let's say, what do we have here? Solid red, 2 pixels. Let's put in a border of solid black. Or actually, I think we can just say, can we just say border width? Yeah. Let's be really explicit here. So let's put in a border of 13 pixels. And then when we click, and I'm just going to cut and paste this code for now. We'll come and clean up. We will clean this code up in a while. I'm not sure exactly when, but we'll clean it up. So what we should expect is that it's going to be 20 minus the top left of the drawing area minus 13, which is the border width. And actually, let's call it border width. And that test should fail. It does, because we're getting the wrong answer. Expected M0 minus 278. I'm not sure why those are negatives. But I'm not going to worry about it. So now we need to get the border. And I think the way we do that is in jQuery, we can go in and look at dimensions. And we're going to want to know well, we've got let's look at offset. So offset is the position so basically to get the border, I think we're going to want to subtract. We're going to somehow want to figure out that height, that padding, border, and margin. I'm going to go ahead and pause, see if there's an easy way to figure that out, and be back in a moment. Okay, I'm back. It looks like, so my idea of using the outer height and outer width, I realized as I was researching this that that wouldn't work if the borders were different sizes on each side. So what we need to do here is actually look at the CSS, and it looks like that jQuery is going to return that in pixels regardless. So, but let's go ahead and we're going to add a test. We need a test for that EM is converted to PX. I'll explain that in a moment if that doesn't make sense. So, and the reason we're doing this is something I mentioned in the last chapter, which is that we really want our production code to be independent of the styling. So we need to be able to change the styling here in our HTML or in our CSS any way we want and still have our production code work. And that's why I'm spending all this time on getting the padding and border and stuff to work right. So what we need to do here is say that the top border is equal to the drawing area dot CSS, and for border top, and we need to convert that into an integer. So we'll parse that like that. And then we will pull out the top border. And that should be closer to working. But it doesn't quite yet. So let's pull out the left border as well. And see if that works. No. No, it doesn't. Okay. Let me just take that back out and see. I'm going to check this manually and see what we're doing. Well, it's just not working at all. Okay. I'm guessing that this parseInt code isn't working right. Yeah. So if we dump drawing area.css border top, what do we get? Oh, 0, right. It's not just the border top, it's the border top width, I think. Yeah, Yeah, border top width. That would be the problem. Zero pixel, 0 pixel. 13 pixel, looking promising. Now what happens if we parse that as an integer? Is that going to work? 0, 0, 0, 0, 13. Still failing. And what I'm seeing is that that dump just isn't coming out. It's coming out as 0 on Chrome. It's null on IE8. I guess in cases where we don't have it. It's 13 on IE8 here, but then 0. Boy, it's just all over the map. So I'm going to pause, see what I can see. Okay, I'm back. I haven't solved this, but what I have done is I've gotten ourselves back to the point where we have a passing test, all the tests passing. Just commented out this considers border. And now what I want to do is I'm going to bring this back in. So I commented out this test and I took out the code to adjust for the border. I'm going to take out the code to expect anything out of that. And I want to just sort of, interesting. That was unexpected. Oh, you know what? We're appending a drawing area twice. And that's what's going on here. That's why we're getting so many weird behaviors out of this, is we have this code in here before each. I'm going to go ahead and put that back in our test because it was premature to factor that out because each of our tests needs a potentially different case. So let's see if that fixes things. There we go. Okay, so got our test working again, and I'm dumping out that border top, or that top border. And what I'm seeing, what I'm seeing is that it just doesn't show up anywhere except for IE8. And that is no good. So I don't know, but that is all the time we have for this episode. So this is what we'll pick up with next time. Thanks for watching, everybody. I will catch you next time.